Welcome to the new RiverCityGamers Podcast, hosted by SCXCR and Well Unreal 007, as well as many other members from the RiverCityGamers website. Stay tuned for all the gaming news, new pickups, and everything else we feel like talking about on the RiverCityGamers Podcast.
And welcome back to the RiverCityGamers Podcast. I am SCXCR.
And I'm ShadowSnake123, and today is my birthday as of this recording. Props to me.
I got you nothing, and for that I apologize.
Don't worry. Well, just to put this out there, I got a Gurren Lagann art book, and it's freaking awesome, even though 50% of the images are Yoko. Or more than 50%, I should say. Anyway, moving on.
What a shocker. Anyway, we're a little short-staffed for the podcast today, but it's been so long since the last one that I just really wanted to get this out, regardless of how many people could actually be on for it.
And not to mention, I have work in an hour or so for this, so we have to rush to this.
Yeah, so let's just go straight into gaming news.
Gaming news! So real.
I got a lot of stuff to choose from for gaming news. First of all, just to gloss over the things that have happened since the last podcast, Zoe Quinn became more acquainted with dicks than if she went to a convention for people named Richard.
Oh, I've heard vaguely about her. I heard she's done some really bad things involving charities involving women, I take it.
Well, she's done a few things. All I really know is she's a developer who made this game called Depression Quest, which is... It's like if Depression was a really bad choose-your-own-adventure book. But we're going to get beyond that, because that's been talked to death by this point.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I have some news that's actually going to make you happy, Shadow.
Okay.
Are you familiar at all with the Video Game History Museum?
No, I haven't heard of it.
It's a traveling exhibition that's had like a bunch of physical displays about the history of video games.
Oh.
And like, the key word there is traveling, but it's found a permanent home. Guess where?
San Antonio, Texas?
Well, you're half right. It's in Texas. It's in Frisco.
Frisco, Texas. I need to figure out how far that is from San Antonio.
Yep, they've raised $1 million in funding and gotten some money from the city. So now the Video Game History Museum has a permanent home in Frisco, Texas.
I love Texas now.
I've found another reason that I need to get out to Texas sometime.
Oh yeah, San Japan.
Yeah, that thing. And since I touched on this in the last podcast, I might as well mention it now. We had a discussion topic a while back about how not to get scammed by Kickstarters.
Oh.
Specifically, like, investing in something that the people behind the Kickstarter just eventually drop.
Okay.
Well, Kickstarter updated their terms of service to say that the creator must complete the project.
The creator must complete the project. And which campaign is this referring to?
A couple of them. The most recent one was a Kickstarter by Neil Stevenson, who kickstarted this game called Clang, which was a historical sword fighting game. It created the prototype for it, but it didn't create a finished product, and it got cancelled.
Okay.
What separates that from Yogg Ventures is, number one, they actually have a prototype, and number two, they actually refunded anyone who asked.
Oh, at least they refunded.
And this also comes shortly after a Kickstarter game for Asylum playing cards. Got funded back in, I think, 2012? And nothing happened with it, and the state of Washington sued them over it.
Because of their uncommitment to the campaign?
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I guess that's a better choice of short words.
And moving right along, there is a lot of news to go over.
Oh, man.
Actually, there's been a lot of good news so far, and it
that's preferred.
And it keeps going here, because you know the name Tetsuya Nomura, right?
Tetsuya Nomura? Oh, isn't he like involved with Kingdom Hearts?
Oh yeah, he is working on Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. Is this the article of him no longer be the director of Final Fantasy 15?
He is no longer the director.
So can we at least expect a straightforward storytelling Final Fantasy game now?
Let's hope so, because dear God.
Yeah.
And staying with Square Enix, some people got really excited thinking there'd be a Final Fantasy VII remake because Square Enix registered the trademark for something called Shinra Company.
Oh, I heard about that.
Isn't that something about cloud-based gaming or something like that?
Yeah, it's actually a trademark for a cloud-based gaming company.
Hence the term cloud, if you catch my drift.
Hold on. There, my knee has been slapped.
It's the closest thing we're gonna get to a Final Fantasy remake, as Blondie put it.
Alright, so, any more interesting news?
We're going to keep moving right along. Specifically, we're going to move along to Mojang.
Mojang?
Yeah, the makers of Minecraft.
Oh, isn't this about Microsoft owning them?
Yeah, Microsoft purchased Mojang for $2.5 billion.
So I take it we should probably expect future projects to be only on Xbox consoles, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, well,
Or
then again,
PC, because they can never commit to anything exclusive.
Except Halo. Or Gears.
I was going to say, wasn't there a Halo on the PC?
Yeah, there was. But I don't think not all the Halo games are on PC, but...
Yeah, but still. I mean...
Yeah.
Well, that's not actually the main story here. The story is what the Minecraft creator Marcus Persson... I cannot pronounce this guy's name for the life of me. It's what he said after that that kind of took some people aback. Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't heard what he said. All I heard is that Microsoft purchased Mojang for billions of dollars.
Here's a small excerpt of what he said.
Okay.
Minecraft certainly became a huge hit, and people are telling me it's changed games. I never meant for it to do either. It's certainly flattering, and to gradually thrust into some kind of public spotlight is interesting. He goes on to say, I don't want to be a symbol responsible for something huge that I don't understand, that I don't want to work on, that keeps coming back to me. I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not a CEO, I'm a nerdy computer programmer who likes to have opinions on Twitter. As soon as this deal was finalized, I will leave Mojang and go back to doing Ludum Dare and small web experiments. If I ever accidentally make something that seems to gain traction, I'll probably abandon it immediately.
Right. So in other words, he didn't really want it to be all popular and famous. He just wanted, have fun making what he liked, right?
Yeah, he just wants to toil away on his computer, make something fun, and go on with his life.
Yeah, the thing is, Minecraft just keeps... The popularity of Minecraft was, constantly follows him, and I guess he couldn't really handle that popularity stress anymore, if that's a better term to use.
Well, that's the thing. It's just Minecraft for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being a one-hit wonder as a band.
Mm-hmm. I guess he would like to be known for other things rather than just one big thing that has been popular over the years. So I think he just wants to move on and work on other projects, and to that extent, I don't blame him.
It's like if you see a member of Flock of Seagulls, and you're like, "Oh, I loved I Ran So Far Away," and they're like, "I've done other shit."
Maybe Hideo Kojima could take some advice from this guy, because let's face it, most of all the stuff he's been working on is just Metal Gear stuff. Well, I'm not sure how you feel about him working on a new Silent Hill game, but that's something to be discussed later.
I don't know enough about that yet to have a solid opinion on it.
Yeah.
Unlike Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Oh yeah, there's that.
The bitch work equivalent of multiplayer.
Well,
so they did say that there's going to be co-op on the main campaign, right?
It's co-op where one person plays as Barry Burton's daughter, and she can't use guns, she just kind of holds a flashlight and heals Claire.
Okay, and Claire's just, the offensive type.
So in other words, Claire is the dad fixing the sink, and Barry Burton's daughter is the one who's holding the flashlight. Because there's nothing else useful that person can do.
Okay. That's actually sounds a bit of an interesting cooperative way to handle a survival horror game, rather than just having two people shoot things over and over again, because
I don't know, 6. We all know how well 6 turned out.
On the one hand, that's interesting. On the other hand, who's going to want to play as that?
Oh yeah, good point.
The thing is, though, if there was one thing I liked about Revelations, that even though you did have someone following you, but at least you didn't have to worry about him or something like that. So in a sense, it actually felt like you were by yourself. I think I'm just gonna throw this out there. I think future Resident Evil games would work a lot better if you were by yourself, like with no one following you around. You're exploring the area and trying to discover its mysteries and fight off like all the creatures all by yourself.
So in other words, what Resident Evil used to be.
Yes. I'm not saying be the same old thing. I understand evolution's one thing, but ultimately adding senseless co-op is not the solution.
Especially if it's someone who can just follow behind with a flashlight and heal you. That's like being Tronbon doing missions by yourself, except there's an army of Servbots behind you to help out.
Oh yeah.
We're dwelling too long on this, though. Let's move on.
I know.
Let's move on to Nintendo confusing people even more.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
You know how there was that debacle where, like, they came out with the Wii U, and because of the way they named it, people didn't realize that it was a whole new console and not just something to add on to the Wii.
And still to this day, people think it is just an update.
Well, now that moves over to handhelds, because they came out with a new 3DS, which is called the new 3DS.
Couldn't they? Yeah, really original Nintendo.
So, if you go into GameStop and ask for a new 3DS, you're going to have to clarify a little bit.
Thanks for the confusion.
Like, so I just want a brand new 3DS. So do you mean the new 3DS or just like a brand new 3DS?
New 3DS. For life.
Also, the only notable thing I know about it is that there's going to be a supposedly new 3DS Xenoblade.
Yeah, and it will only work on the new 3DS because they've altered the way that the CPU works for the new 3DS, which doesn't jive with the 3DS.
Also, is there something new that we should know about the new 3DS other than maybe potentially like better hardware or just stronger processor or something like that?
From what I've heard, the 3D will work better. You won't have to use the sweet spot technique anymore. You'll be able to see 3D from a bunch of different angles.
Oh, sweet.
And there's new button layout with it, but it's not that major. Oh, I think it has like an extra circle pad or something on it.
Yeah. So it kind of feels like it has like 2 analog sticks, which that would actually feel cool. Actually feel good because that's one thing I like about the Vita is like 2 analog sticks. I can't argue against that.
Speaking of circle pads,
Okay.
Smash Brothers
Has been what?
I hate even going into this. Well, Smash Brothers 3DS released in Japan, moved about 1 million units in a single day, and people proceeded to break their 3DSs. Specifically, people were breaking the circle pad, either snapping it off or snapping it in half, because nobody has self-control today.
I have to be honest, I wasn't really that surprised since, Smash Bros. On the 3DS is going to be the most intense game that you probably will ever play on that third 3DS. That requires like a lot of like quick thinking, quick reflexes on the buttons, whatever, and it's going to cause like a lot of stress to all the buttons to the point where you might end up breaking them. Like, I have a feeling that if I'm going to get... We're all getting Smash Bros. 3DS, but there's no doubt about that. But I'm
getting both.
Yeah, same here. 3DS and Wii U. And I have a feeling they're going to have to
Probably get like brand new, much more durable 3DS, or maybe that new 3DS was probably made just
to endure more punishment for Smash Brothers, maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
2 things about this. Number 1, there was actually a very easy way they could have avoided this, which is when you're playing the game, you can't use the D-pad for movement controls. So that would have solved a lot of problems right there, because you can still use the D-pad for like menu navigation and stuff. That holds up for the demo as well. But you can only use the circle pad for in-game movement. And number 2, I actually got into a really long argument with Angel about this.
Okay.
Where he was talking about how, like, Pro Smash players that he's seen apparently will just go through GameCube controllers, like, at the rate that MLG players go through cans of Red Bull.
Okay.
I don't know if that's just a region-specific thing, because I've seen Pro Smash players before, like, there was a few of them at SGDQ when I was there. None of them are that destructive with their controllers.
I mean, there's a lot of Smash Bros. Players that are not that reckless with their controllers. I mean, some actually preserve the controllers and know the limitations of them and try to take good care of them. So, but I understand where this article is coming from. Yeah, the game is highly intensive and it will require like a lot of like, probably a lot more durable from your system to be able to play this game, because let's face it, this is probably going to be the most played game on 3DS probably for a while when it comes out.
In the meantime, while Nintendo is losing circle pads off of its 3DSs, Sony is losing money.
Oh, this is something else I've heard.
Yeah, they are not doing well financially. In fact, they had estimated losses for the financial year. Those estimated losses have quadrupled.
Ooh.
To 1.3 billion yen.
What is, like, some of those...
Oh, wait, no, it's even worse. It's not yen. It's pounds. British pounds.
Wow.
What the fuck, Sony?
What are they doing that's causing them to lose so much money?
Apparently it's the smartphone division that's really struggling for them.
Ooh.
They're the future, guys.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a certain other decision which I'd rather not mention right now.
Yeah, we'll get to poor decisions for the discussion topic. Hold on. Although, to end on a positive note, it has been 8 months where the PS4 has outsold the Xbox One.
Yay.
And I feel like ending gaming news on that note.
Yeah, same here.
So now, let's just move into upcoming releases.
Okay.
Which is going to be difficult because I have to scroll through a lot of sports titles that I don't give a shit about. Alien Isolation, which I know Blondie's looking forward to. I haven't seen any footage of this game, so I have no idea what it is.
I haven't been paying attention to it that much. I mean, I guess you could say after the whole colossal disaster with that previous Aliens game, I kind of just like shrugged up the new Aliens game there. But who knows? I'll give it a shot if hopefully it's good.
Oh, and releasing on the same day as Alien Isolation, Project Spark.
Project Spark?
Yeah, the Conquer the Squirrel, hey, let's make our own game. No, fuck you, Microsoft, for doing that.
Oh, an Xbox One game that I'm not gonna give two shits about. But hey, Conker's in there!
On a happier note, though, Evil Within, releasing mid-October.
Yeah, by Shinji Mikami.
Now, do you like the title Evil Within, or do you like the Japanese title better?
What is the Japanese title again?
It's like
I'm on
Psycho
Wikipedia.
Jail or something like that.
I'm
Psycho
on Wiki-
Break, that's what it is.
Psycho Break?
Personally, I kind of like Evil Within better.
You know, I guess I could agree that Evil Within is a little bit better. I mean, usually it's always the other way around, that the Japanese titles are somewhat better than the English ones, but I guess in this case the English one is a little bit better. I've seen some footage of it. It does have an eerie atmosphere towards it, and I think it deserves a chance, but I'm not sure if it's going to be anything groundbreaking. It's obviously one of those typically we have to wait and see, and we'll see right there. But on a good note, I did read up on its voice cast. I do know one of the people behind it. And those who've actually watched the Showtime show called Dexter, Jennifer Carpenter's voicing a character in that game apparently.
Oh.
AKA, she's the one that played Deborah Morgan.
So I'm probably going to be expecting hearing the F word a lot. if she's going to be voice acting in this game.
And so what else is coming out?
Actually, in about 4 or 5 days from the time of this recording, Hyrule Warriors will be out.
Okay. It's Dynasty Wars with a Zelda skin. I thought about getting it day one, but I'm like, there's a lot more. There's some more interesting games I want to wait for.
Yeah, funny thing about the review scores I've seen for that, it's been getting decent review scores. And in fact, some good review scores. But the pattern I've noticed is that all the review scores that are like middling to bad are people who don't like Dynasty Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like Dynasty Warriors, so I'm not going to get this game.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, the problem is if you don't like Dynasty Warriors, like, I mean, I'm a little bit towards it. I mean, I know I've said some hostile things towards it in my Kim's Rage video, but I kind of stand by it to some degree, but not all of it. I can sort of see the appeal that what some people like it, but it's really hard for me to enjoy it, considering that it's just, let's face facts, it's just press square, triangle, square, and move around, fight a bunch of brain dead AI.
At least in Hyrule Warriors, a bunch of the enemies are going to be like monsters that you find out in the field, so it makes sense that they're really stupid.
Okay, yeah, I guess in that aspect it'll make somewhat sense.
But then you start fighting like actual knights and shit, and it falls apart.
Yeah.
Oh, and I mentioned it earlier, but Smash Bros. 3DS coming in like a couple weeks. Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2, I know one person who's looking forward to that.
0.
Oh, here's one that a lot of us are looking forward to. Bayonetta 2.
I want it so badly. Co-op! We gotta play co-op on that game.
Yes, we do.
Alright. Oh yeah, I think you've, oh wait, no, we're just sticking to October releases.
Well, no, go ahead, throw it out.
Oh, okay, you actually mentioned Hyrule Warriors since it's coming out this month. I should also mention this, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax comes out on September 30th.
Oh, I was going to mention that. Thank you for getting that to me.
Oh yeah.
Also, by the way, you still have an opportunity to pre-order the game if you want to get the Tarot cards. Also, first week, when the game comes out, first week, two free DLC characters.
I actually have some Persona 4 Tarot cards already.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got them back when I did Kanji Tatsumi for that wrestling show.
Oh yeah, you told me you were dressed up as Kanji.
I
broke my ass trying to do a move onto a steel chair.
I would imagine how painful that would have been.
It wasn't as painful for the guy that went face first into it, though.
Oh! I hope he's okay.
Oh, he was fine. He wrestled again 3 matches later.
Alright. As long as he's doing alright.
Well, I mean, it hurt, obviously, but he was okay.
Okay.
I don't follow Borderlands.
I kind of gave up on Borderlands.
I only played the first one, and even though I had the second one, I never even touched it. I'm like,
yeah, I'm just not gonna bother with the series anymore.
Okay, so I take it you can't explain to me what Borderlands the pre-sequel is.
I'm assuming it's a prequel to the first Borderlands because of the title. That's all I can think of.
But it's a pre-sequel.
So it's between Borderlands 1 and 2, maybe?
Well, is it a pre-sequel to the original Borderlands or Borderlands 2? Is it
know.
like before Borderlands 2 but after the first Borderlands? Is there some other mythology from like an obscure comic book or manga or a movie or something that's in a different place than 1 or 2 and they're trying to go before or after that and then before or after another thing?
I don't know. I'm just thinking it's a dumb title.
Oh, and just throwing this out there, I don't know what it is. Tears to Tiara 2, Heir of the Overlord?
Oh, isn't that game published by Atlas?
Yes, it's published by Atlas.
Okay, I've vaguely seen some trailers of it. I don't know what it's all about. I do know one thing about it since I bought this one game called Aquapazza. It's basically like a fighting game featuring Aqua Plus characters. I do know that's an Aqua Plus IP. So I guess I would be somewhat interested in getting that since, I have the Aqua Plus fighting game.
Yeah, it looks to be like one of those strategy RPGs that you probably need take some time to get into.
Yeah, I'll have to read up more on that later and see if that's something I'd be into. But for now, let's just go right into recent pickups. And I'll go first because mine is not going to take very long. First off, I was just randomly perusing stuff on Steam, and I just happened to check my wish list and found a game that I wanted for 74 cents on sale. So I got Septerra Core.
Septerra Core? Oh yeah, I got that too. Because it was 74 cents.
Yep. It's hard to figure out what to do in the beginning, but once you get the hang of it, it really picks up. Also, the animation for some of the facial work, considering the time that this game was made, I really like it. And the only other thing I picked up, I got it for like $2.50 from GameStop. I've seen this game absolutely everywhere that sells video games. Alien Syndrome for the Wii.
Alien Syndrome for the I've been here. I've heard about that. Just never played it. I think you streamed it like the other night.
Yeah, last night I streamed it for a few hours. And the most exciting thing about that game was when I played the booty song every time I went into the inventory screen.
I imagine you had a lot of fun with that.
The thing is, there's a ton of aliens in each level, but it's always like the same 3 aliens that keeps coming, and they just spawn over and over, so there's long periods of time where you're just sitting at one point, shooting at this one area until everything dies.
So you basically just camp at one area and just like shoot, okay, let's come out of this so I can shoot you one by one. I take it that's how it goes?
More or less, yeah, but that's all I got for recent pickups.
Alright. Well, as far as my games are concerned, I got that same RPG that you got. Let's see, I
did also buy another thing on Steam along with it. I'm browsing through my list. It's called I got this game. It's made by Key, the guys who did Clannad and Canon visual novels. They're actually starting to release a lot of they're actually going to start releasing their games on Steam. It's called Planetarian, the Reviver of a Little Planet.
It seems to be an interesting visual novel and a good read. And as for physical copies of games, I got 2 3DS games: Kirby Triple Deluxe and Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright crossover. And I actually got 2 games for the PS2. I got Tsukugane Atonement by Atlas. It seems pretty interesting. Something about playing as a spirit who angered gods that has to, atone for his sins or whatnot. Sounds interesting. And I also got Way of the Samurai. I heard it had some, like a very deep action system to it, so I figured I'd give it a shot. For the Vita, I got X-Blaze Code Embryo, which is a visual novel of Blaze Blue, which is considered a prequel. It's alright. Okay. Oh, now for PS3 games. I did get 4 brand new PS3 games, and I actually imported one from PlayAsia. It is called Under the Night in Birth, developed by French-bred and Ecolo Software, who worked with Type Moon to make the Melty Blood games. And they're coming out with their other fighting game called Denki Banku Fighting Climax, aka Anime Fighting Crossover. Wow. Let's see. I also got also for my birthday, I got Tales of Exillia 2. Figured why not, since I like collecting the Tales games. And these last 2 games are from Square Enix. I got Dragon Guard 3. Okay, yes, I know it plays a little bit like Dynasty Warriors, but for some reason I find it more appealing because it has more of an interesting lore to it. And this is sort of similar to Dragon Guard. I bought Nier, since I've been getting more interested in Dragon Guard as well. And that's all I have.
Halt. A wild unreal appears.
Yeah, I apologize, guys. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Whatever.
So
I'll just
Hey, you
back
want to do
out.
recent pickups?
Huh?
You want to do your recent pickups?
You really want me to just appear then disappear?
Okay.
I mean, well, it's like the Tokusatsu podcast, how that worked. Where I just came in for one segment and then vanished from Earth. Okay. Hi, I'm sick and I came in late. Let me try and remember what I got. Okay, let's look at these things. I got a PS4. That's a big one.
Was
It
that
came
the
with
Destiny
Destiny.
bundle?
Yep. And speaking of Destiny, it's the reviews are at least surprising. Like, for real. Like, but I also like got Killzone Shadowfall like cheap from GameFly. I still prefer Destiny, honestly, because it's just more fun. And also from GameFly, I got Batman Arkham Origins. I don't even know if I'm gonna continue playing because of PS4. I don't even know if I want to mention this pickup. I now, oh my game's fell. I now own GoldenEye Rogue Agent.
How much did you pay for that?
I think $5. I think it was definitely around that range. It was like the only reason. Oh, I guess I should mention the games I got at like the state fair like a couple weeks ago. The Xbox version of Counter-Strike. I also got the Chronicles of Riddick Dark Athena, which is basically 2 games in 1. And for the Super Nintendo, Flashback Quest for Identity. And I think I got one more game from that state fair. What was it? Oh, Advent Rising. Okay, that was it.
Advent Rising.
Yeah. I think that's it. Finding Flashback Quest for Identity was probably the most surprising find at that state fair. And it was in good condition too. Everything else were just like common shit titles I didn't care about. That's it for me. I mean, technically I have Warframe on PS4, but that's a download. And it's a free-to-play game too, so whatever.
Are you going to stick around for the rest of the podcast?
Well, I don't even know what's in it.
Well, we just had the discussion topic, and then viewer questions and updates.
Oh, well, what's the topic?
Oh boy.
Do I want to know?
Well, it's about a quiet day in Japan.
Okay, you may as well surprise me. Hang on a second.
Unfortunately, that rather quiet, peaceful day was when the Xbox One launched.
I know exactly what it is now. God damn it. I know what it is.
I know when you said quiet.
I just had to think.
You thought I said kawaii?
Kawaii Day in Japan.
Every day in Japan is a kawaii day. No, I'm talking about this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I jumped.
I'm talking about all these pictures of lines.
I guess I can stick around, but I feel like a third wheel in this right now.
All these pictures of lines that were made for the Xbox One that nobody was standing in. And the final figures for launch day in Japan, well, actually this isn't launch day. It's like the first 4 days it was available. 25,000 units sold.
I would have laughed harder if it was 25 units sold.
And then there was a follow-up week of sales figures. 3,000 units sold.
Okay.
Oh, I know this may come out of left field, but I just looked this up. In relation, well, not really. Yeah, Japan had a poor Xbox One launch. I think because of that, Microsoft just postponed their launch in China.
Yes, they did.
Shit.
That update coming from one of our favorite Microsoft stooges, Yusuf.
Oh.
The same guy who was tricked by that manipulated photo.
Photoshop picture.
The picture that said people excited about the Xbox launch, and it's all those cutout people from that driving game.
Forza, oh my god.
If he even looked at that and thought for a moment, he would be like, wow, there's a lot of white people in Japan. After this, does Xbox One still have a chance in Japan / the Asian market?
Nope.
No.
It's pretty much been their curse ever since the first iteration. Like, at least with 360, they had something, but it still wasn't enough. And by that, I mean they like had a couple of games that eventually went to PS3.
Back then when it came to the Xbox 360, didn't like people buy the system just for the sake of Idolmaster, but then all of a sudden Idolmaster becomes available on PS3, so it's like, yeah, screw the 360, let's go with that.
Oh god, I don't even know where to begin with this. Like, what could they make available for the Xbox One, and just the Xbox One, that would convince the Japanese market to get an Xbox One?
Obviously not JRPGs, because those are made at every other console.
Well, let me just go back to the sales figures and see what games sold the best with it. Titanfall was the best-selling one. Although, best-selling when it sold like barely 9,000 units during its launch. And right behind it was Dead Rising 3.
Okay.
And then in third, oddly enough, Forza Motorsport. Is this just going to be viewed as like the console for like, I don't know how else to say it, Western games?
Yeah.
I think so. That
They just
seems
probably
to
just
be their legacy at this point. Microsoft, I mean.
They just see it as like, oh, it's a system made by the United States or something like that. Really not that much to it.
Actually, going back to something you mentioned earlier, Emerald, the delayed Chinese launch. They are having a special event on September 22nd, which is tomorrow. Or, with the way time zones work, that might actually be today for them. Youssef Mehdi, the corporate vice president, said that they were, quote, thrilled with the response, unquote, that they've seen in China so far. I seem to remember hearing a quote like this in regards to the build-up to their Japan release, though, so I'm not sure what exactly is going to happen with this. Oh, and something else they mentioned from the general manager of Xbox at Microsoft China. They said there's going to be a, quote, added bonus for people in China who pre-ordered the Xbox One.
And what is this added bonus?
They haven't said.
Oh.
Let the guessing game commence.
More games that you get bundled?
I'm going to say 1 month free Xbox Live Gold.
I don't know. I guess I probably would have to go with SCR's guess. Which even if they did do that, I'd be like, I don't think they would even care.
I don't know what the eBay equivalent is in China, but once the Xbox One launches there, start going there looking for Xbox Live Gold memberships. Assuming that is what they're doing, we still don't know. The added bonus could be anything. It could be you get an extra controller. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Wait, I have an idea. What if somehow a new Tales of Vesperia game came out for Xbox One?
Yeah. Thanks for
I don't know if that same trick will happen again, because remember, it eventually did go to PS3, so they'll probably just be like, no, I'll wait.
Yeah, the sad part is like the updated Vesperia port on PS3 never came here.
I don't even know what else to say about it at this point. Should we just move on?
Me neither. It's just the Xbox One doesn't sell well in Japan. In the story. In fact, Xbox in general does not do well in Japan.
Right, well, I might as well bring the discussion to a close and go ahead and move on to viewer questions.
Oh boy.
And this question comes from nobody.
Because we got none?
We have nothing. So instead, I'm just going to ask both of you a question.
Okay.
What's your favorite type of salad?
I don't eat salad.
Good answer.
I don't really eat that much salad, but if I had to, I'd probably just go with chicken salad.
Yeah, but actually the only type of salad I'd eat was at Fuji restaurants. I forget what kind of dressing they put on it, but that's like the only time I really ate salad. Other than that, I got nothing else. I don't really eat salad that much. There you go.
Well, there you go. I hope this has been a very enlightening viewer questions segment for whoever's listening to this. And if you want to ask us actual questions, not just stuff about salads, you can ask us in the comments for the YouTube upload or on the River City Gamers site. You can also ask us on the River City Gamers Facebook page, facebook.com/RiverCityGamers, or send us a private message on YouTube. However, we don't care. Just ask us something. We need stuff to do. And that will bring us into video updates. I'll go ahead and go first. I'll be perfectly blunt. Since college has started up again for me, I have had very little to no time to work on videos. I still have Tony Hawk's Shred that I'm working on. I've got like a page and a half written of that, and I've gotten a couple hours of footage recorded, which sounds like a lot, but it really isn't that far into the game yet. And on the side, I've been steadily researching for the Bloody Roar 4 part of the Bloody Roar retrospective. That is still a long way off, but I am still going to try and get that out by the end of the year. If it has to be a Christmas thing, so be it. I'll try and get it then. Maybe New Year's. We'll see. But other than that, that's about it for me, so Unreal?
Well, my most recent video, which was on the Destiny beta, was it was like the most recent one I did, and I'm actually happy how that turned out. Right now I don't really have anything I'm working on though, unfortunately. I'm just like focusing on my like actual job right now. But yeah, I really have nothing to update with, unfortunately, because I just haven't been like being productive on the video end. I mean, I also blame the PlayStation 4, but at the same time, I just can't think of anything after how stressful that Destiny beta video was with Vegas crashing every single time. It was just like, I think I need a break from video editing after that.
I can imagine.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I got from my end.
Oh, baby, a triple.
Oh, yeah.
Shadow.
I got nothing. Well, the only thing I would be interested in talking about the Yatagarasu Alpha, but by the time I get into that, I think the full game will be released, since they said that the full game is going to be released somewhere around fall 2014. So it'd be kind of pointless. I don't know, I think Zero could probably just do it by himself if he likes.
Possibly. I mean, he did do that Mighty Number 9 beta.
Yeah. I mean, I know he has the alpha. He has access to the alpha, so he could just do that. Other than that, I got nothing.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of this podcast. Once again, I am SCXCR.
I am ShadowSnake123, and as a reminder, today's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. And I'm Unreal, and I came in super late.
And I hear a siren outside. I think they're on to me.
I'm gonna be outside then.
Alright.
I'm gonna be inside.
I'm gonna hide in my closet.
Let rain, a baby born will die before the sun chocolate rain. The school books say it can't be here again. Chocolate rain, the chocolate rain.